The quality of our sleep is something that we often tend to overlook. However, the quality of our sleep is actually really important. Whether you sleep well or whether you sleep poorly really affects our overall mental and physical health. A bad sleep can actually result in lack of energy, less productivity, and also a lack of emotional stability. So if you have been disregarding the quality of your sleep and you really want to improve that, improve your health, then just keep on watching and I'll share my tips with you guys. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Sylvia from Catchy Cravings, and I'd love to inspire you and help you master healthy eating, but also healthy living in general. So if that sounds intriguing to you, then be sure to subscribe. It's free and I currently post twice weekly. So first of all, what's really important is that we not only count the hours that we sleep, but also it is important that we make sure we maintain a consistent cycle of sleep. So that means that we go to bed and wake up at around the same time. Our body actually has our own internal system and our own clock. So changing up that schedule also means that our body needs to readjust. So sleeping in on the weekends might sound great, but that also means our body wants to adjust to that different sleep cycle, and that can really mess up our sleep schedule and kind of confuse our body. So on the weekends, when you do feel like you really want to sleep in, it's better to wake up at your usual time and then maybe take a nap in between. But also with taking naps, you should be a little bit more careful. You should try to take your naps at the beginning of the day or in the morning, and try not to take too long of naps, so about 20 minutes or so, and then you'll feel more energized and ready for your day. The second tip is to really pay attention to the influence of light. Melatonin is this hormone that our body produces that regulates our sleep cycle. The more melatonin we produce, the sleepier we can feel, and the less it produces, the more awake we are. And when it's dark, our brain starts to produce more melatonin, so it thinks that it's time to go to bed, and it needs our body to get ready to go to sleep. And when it's light outside, we tend to be more awake and less melatonin is produced. And back in the old days, this was a natural cycle. We went to bed with the sunset and got up with the sunrise. But nowadays, there are just so many more influences and sources of light that can really kind of mess up this natural cycle of our melatonin. So during the day, we should try to spend more time in sunlight. So that kind of means like having breakfast maybe near a window or even outside in the summer, taking a few walks, and just spending more time in light. And that can also be done by just opening all the curtains in your home and letting in all the natural sunlight so you feel more awake. And for those of you that live in countries where the wintertime it's dark a lot of the time, like here in Germany, you can get one of those light therapy alarm clocks, I think they're called. I'll link it down below. But they kind of mimic the natural sunrise and sunset. So it helps your body to wake up and go to sleep more easily. And at night, we should really be trying to avoid screens, especially 1 to 2 hours right before we go to sleep, because that way our body can slowly calm down and get ready for our bedtime. Especially the blue lights in our screen, like on our phone, our computer, on the TV, that blue light really suppresses our melatonin levels. So if you must use any type of screen, then you can either get those blue blocker glasses, or even simpler, just download an app or a software. They're usually free and really simple that kind of make your screen a little bit more orangey. You can definitely set the saturation of the orange tone and make sure to turn down the brightness of your screens. Also, when you go to sleep, make sure that your room is dark, so close any curtains. Maybe if you have any devices that give off light, try to cover those, or just sleep with a sleeping mask. That way you're really supporting the production of melatonin in your body. Then again, if you do have to wake up at night, maybe don't turn on the bright lights in the room, but make sure you have a small, maybe night light that you can turn on so that you're not completely flooded with this blinding light. Something else we should pay attention to is what we eat, because what we eat actually affects our sleep, especially when the thing that you eat is relatively close to your sleeping time. So avoid things like caffeine or nicotine. Those are really things that keep you up, keeps your brain awake and going. Also, don't eat too much or don't eat too fatty or spicy foods, because those things also keep our digestive system up and working hard. Then also try to avoid alcohol. Alcohol does kind of help you relax and maybe go to sleep easier, but once the alcohol effect kind of wears off, it really actually does the opposite. It kind of messes up our sleep cycle and rhythm, and that's not something that we want. Then tip number 4 is to try to relax and empty your mind. A lot of the times people have trouble sleeping because they're anxious, worried, and stressed, and those are things that really can keep us up at night. So try to maybe clear your mind and wind down, relax. If it helps, if you have lots of stressors and worries, maybe try journaling to empty your mind. Also, you can try to meditate before you sleep or visualize things that are calming. For example, maybe the lapping waves at a beach or a flickering light of the candle. That is something that might help. Otherwise, you can just lie down on your back and breathe in and out slowly and calmly and concentrate on that breath of yours. That should really calm you down and not let your mind wander everywhere. The key here is not to set your goal as going to sleep, but rather to set your goal to relax. So oftentimes if we keep on thinking, I need to sleep now, I only have 4 hours left, that actually is kind of even more stress on ourselves, and it's even harder to fall asleep. So rather try to relax, and then the falling asleep will kind of come by itself. Then number 5 is to improve your overall environment in your bedroom or wherever you sleep. So that means that you make sure that's quiet. If that is not in your control, then maybe sleep with some, and if that's not in your control, then maybe sleep with some earplugs just to make sure that it's absolutely quiet. Also make sure that the temperature is right. The preferred temperature most of us like to sleep in are about 18 to 19 degrees Celsius. Also make sure that there's enough fresh air in the room, so maybe ventilate once before you go to bed. Since during our sleep, all the windows are mostly shut and there is no real fresh air coming in, and we're using all the air that is already in the room. Then lastly, make sure that your bed, your mattress, your pillows, that they're all nice and comfortable so that you're not waking up maybe with back pain or neck pain. If so, maybe you should check out different mattresses or different pillows to make sure that works for you. Also, another really helpful tip is to use your bed really only to sleep. So if you watch TV in your bed or work in your bed, that is not something very beneficial. We really want our mind to associate our bed with going to sleep. So these are my tips on how to have better sleep, how to fall asleep better, how to have better quality sleep. And let me know down below in the comments which one of these tips really surprised you, or which one of them you're going to try out and implement. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up if you learned something new. Also subscribe for more videos if you are interested, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!